We know that knowledge is not power. We don't need to know any more information. We need to apply the information we already know. You're drowning in information, but you're starving for practical wisdom. I'm going to share with you the 10 keys for unlocking what I call your superhero brain, right? Your super brain, if you will, that's going to keep your brain and your mind ageless. There are strategies to genius, and that's what the breadth of our work is helping make those strategies very explicit. Genius leaves clues. Genius leaves clues. That if somebody is a genius, and I don't mean IQ, I'm talking about somebody who excels in their expertise, that they're doing something other people aren't doing. People who could read 3 times faster are doing things that people who weren't taught are doing. People who can learn languages, 2, 3, 4 languages easier, they're doing things unconsciously other people aren't doing. Everything comes down to strategies, right? So you're making things simple, you're making them intense, and you're looking at the strategy because there's always a method behind the magic. 1/3 of your brain health and your memory, your intelligence, is predetermined by genetics and biology, but 2/3 is in your control. Now, some people suggest all of it's in your control, that we're creating our reality all the time, all right? So whatever studies you buy into, we have more control than most of us believe. So everyone always wants to know what the magic pill is. There's no magic pill, there's just magic processes, right? And I'm gonna go through those 10 things here. This potential that you have, your intelligence, your memory, whatever it is being fed through streams, right? And it's not invisible. You might not see what's going on upstream, but then it shows up. So I'm gonna go through really quickly the 10 different things. But what I want you to do is be able to memorize these 10 things. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through, and I'm gonna teach you this very quickly, a way of putting it onto your body. The reason I'm saying it is to take knowledge and turn it into power, and I want you to take those ideas and have them have real impact. And what I want you to do is when I'm going through it, I want you to cycle through and on a piece of paper, rate yourself. On a scale of 0 to 10, how well am I doing in that category? So the first one is a good brain diet. So on a scale of 0 to 10, what's an honest assessment? If you're honest and true to yourself, where are you on your diet? In Super Brain, we talk about the most important foods for your brain that are neurological, like neuroprotective. So we're talking about avocados, we're talking about blueberries, or what I call brain berries, right? We're talking about broccoli, we're talking about eggs, if that's allowed by your diet. We're talking about coconut oil or olive oil. We're talking about green leafy dark vegetables, turmeric. Every morning I do like an almond turmeric like tea, right? All these things are neuroprotective. Number 2, killing ants. Automatic negative thoughts. How well are you controlling your self-talk? On a scale of 0 to 10, honestly, how strong are you? 0 to 10. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. Number 3, exercise. And really what we're talking about here is movement. The number 1 function of your brain is to control your movement. Right? That's why we know there's not just a brain-body connection, but a body-brain connection, that using your body in different ways stimulates neurogenesis, it stimulates neuroplasticity, it stimulates brain-derived nootropic factors, which is the fertilizer for making new connections. So you have to move, but we live in a very sedentary life. They say sitting is the new smoking. Number 4, brain nutrients, brain vitamins. The most important supplement is DHA for the brain. DHA. Number 5, positive peer group. So rate yourself 0 to 10. How inspired, encouraged, challenged, energized are you by your peer group? And again, peer is choice. I'm not talking about your family, although they maybe are your peer, but the people that you choose, right? So either get new group or choose who you're gonna let affect you, positive peer group, because it really affects your brain, 0 to 10. Number 6, clean environment. How clean is your environment? How organized is 0 to 10? And you know this, right? Is your external world reflected by your internal world and vice versa? Because it's a feedback loop. Number 7, sleep. On a scale of 0 to 10, how good is your sleep? It's important for your brain. 3 really simple reasons. It's where you consolidate short to long-term memory. That's where you actually remember. You do not, even when you're doing these workouts, build your muscles when you're working out. You build it when you rest. Same thing with your mental muscles, same thing with your memory. So that's where you consolidate short to long-term memory. The other reason why you sleep is it cleans plaque out that could lead to dementia and potentially brain aging challenges. The last reason why is how you dream, right? Your REM sleep, your REM stages of your sleep, that's very important because that's where your creativity, that's where, I'm telling you, like we did a whole thing on Superbrain on how to remember your dreams. But specifically, why do you want to remember your dreams? Because you learn all day, your brain doesn't shut off at night, it's more active at night. And so Elias Howe created a sewing machine in his dream. Paul McCartney came out with the song Yesterday in his dream. Mary Shelley came up with Frankenstein in his dream. Periodic table came to a chemist in his dream. What are you dreaming about at night that could solve a lot of the problems in your business, in your life, but you forget it the next morning? That's why the first thing I do in my morning routine is remember my dreams. 8, brain protection. Are you protecting your brain? And I'm not just talking about wearing a helmet in extreme sport. I mean like things like EMFs. Like we did a podcast episode specifically talking about electromagnetic fields and how it's affecting the brain. You know, I read recently that over 90% of kids sleep with their phones underneath their pillows, right? Not on airplane mode. Number 9, new learnings. That's how you create neurogenesis and neuroplasticity. If you want to know the secret to having an ageless mind, neurogenesis says you can create new brain cells the day you die. Neuroplasticity is saying you can create new connections to the day you die. The two most important factors outside of sleep that's going to promote neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, novelty and nutrition. Just like your body, you have to give it novelty or stimulus, and you have to give it nutrition and feed that muscle. Same thing with your mental muscles. So novelty of movement, novelty of ideas. But most people, as we grow older, and I mean chronological age, we shut down. Because we feel like we know everything, right? So there's no novelty that's there. Remember, you don't have creativity or have focus or have a memory or have bewilderment or have love or have motivation or have energy. You do those things. You do energy, you do creativity, you do focus, you do bewilderment. And finally, the last thing, number 10, stress management. And this is the invisible one, right? Nobody wants to talk about. It's like fish, they don't see the water because it's there all the time. But we are under so much environmental stress, emotional stress, work stress, cognitive stress, financial stress. We don't realize that, but you don't get the best of the best out of that. If you're stressed, it doesn't help you study. When you're stressed, it doesn't help you give a presentation. When you're stressed, it doesn't help you perform cognitively because it shuts down cortisol, adrenaline, big parts of your brain. So stress management. So how are you managing your stress?